Welcome to the XLMOTO garage. Today we're going to be looking at these 3 jacket and trouser combos, which are some of the best that are out there on the market. We're just going to cover the basics of what you should really be looking for when you look to buy one. So first off, with adventure jackets, you need to check the CE rating of the jacket itself. This is generally either an A or a AA. It's usually only a AAA when you're talking about leather bike suits that are being raced round circuits. So A and AA is what you're looking for. When we move to the armour, you're going to be looking at either a Class 1 or a Class 2, with Class 2 being the better of the two. We'll also look at how waterproof the jacket is. We'll look at the fit and how the operation of the jacket works, how big the ventilation is, how easy the zips are to use, and whether the jacket and trousers can be zipped together to make it one jacket. Again, you need to think about your use case scenario. If you're going somewhere super hot, then you're not going to need the insulation. But if you're going up a mountain, it could be hot during the day and freezing cold at night. So sometimes you want something that you can adjust on the go, which is what we have here today. Okay, so today I'm wearing the Alpinestars Pro Drystar jacket. It also comes with the matching trousers, and the features of this jacket are that it's got a modular system. So there's a waterproof, there's an insulation, it has big vents, it also has level 2 armour on the elbows and the shoulders, and the jacket comes Tech Air ready, so you can place your airbag in the back and you're good to go. Okay, so let's look at the protection. Basically, we have a 600 denier Cordura ripstop style fabric, so it makes the jacket really tough and puts it as a AA in its rating. Then we have the Nucleon Flex Pro armour, which is also level 2, so you're getting a great deal of safety and security with this jacket. The pants are also AA rated, and the armour is the same both on the hip and the knees, so you're level 2 with a Class 2 chassis. Paired together, this makes the ultimate protection. So, in terms of the jacket, we have 2 external outer pockets. These are held down with a popper at the front and Velcro at the back, meaning that they're not going to start flapping around. We also have 2 waterproof pockets, which is good if you need to stash anything that doesn't need to get rained on. Then moving to ventilation. So on the arms, we have these big zips, which make open areas for the vents and the air to flow to pass through. There's also a Velcro strap, which means that you can pull this open a little farther and it will scoop up more air as you go. With regard to the front, we have 2 zips, one on each side, and this basically allows you to open up the whole of the front of the jacket on both sides. Now there are 2 options here. If you wish to have full airflow, you can take it all the way down to the bottom, or there's also a popper which allows you to press it in and pull it up if it's not quite got to the heat of the day. In terms of the jacket itself, we have one main zip at the front which opens up the body, and then inside there is a second zip for the waterproof layer, which also holds the insulation layer firmly to that one as well. So Alpinestars' party trick is the over and under waterproof layer. At the moment I'm wearing the jacket on the top, we have the waterproof layer and the thermal lining underneath. If you prefer, and you're going to be going out during extended periods of heavy rain, you can remove the waterproof element and actually wear it over the top of the jacket, because the jacket will have a certain amount of water repellency to it. However, in extended downpours, it will get wet. So the whole system has been designed so you can take this jacket off, put it over the top and keep yourself dry for the rest of the ride. As well as the 2 external pockets that we also have internal pockets. So in the gilet itself, in the padded element, we have 2 Velcro pockets on the inside, and then on the actual jacket body itself we have a further Velcro pocket, and then finally there's also, which is also very handy, a inner waterproof pocket on this side. So if you do need to keep anything super dry like your passport or documents, you can seal it into this pocket and you know it's not going to get wet. So the Alpinestars Pro Drystar trousers also follow the same principle. You have a layer of insulation, you have a layer of waterproofing, and then you have the actual pant itself. And that's all held inside, but it's also an under and over garment. So the same as with the jacket, you can take the waterproof element out and wear it over the top of these trousers. They're also a AA certified, and again the armour is also level 2. With regards to pocketing, we have 2 standard pockets on each side, zipped, Then we have 2 cargo pockets on both sides. And then for that extra ventilation, we have a zip on both sides, the same as the jacket, which you can tuck inside and allows airflow on both sides of the leg. Finally, there's some adjustability in the back of the leg should you wish to pull it in on the calf. And then we have a zipped bottom, which allows you just to snug that in and it stops any material from flapping around. Okay, so now we've covered the basic topics on this pant. Next step, let's put them on and go ride. Now, with regards to the jacket itself, if you're looking for ventilation, we have plenty of ventilation both on the front and the back and on the arms. It's quite easy to kind of do on the fly too. The zips make it super easy with big pull handles, but you do have a large gaping hole at the front here to allow air to go through and pass up through the jacket. And then on the front, there's these 2 big mesh panels which can be worn in 2 different areas. You can either have it halfway down or you can have it the full way down, depending on how much airflow you wish to pass through the jacket. The pants have articulated knees and accordion, so there's plenty of stretch. However, the only thing I would probably say, at the moment I'm wearing the jacket without the padding and without the waterproofing. I can tell straight away I'm getting plenty of air through the jacket, both through the arms and through the panels at the front, and it goes straight out the back, meaning there's a constant flow of air keeping you cool while you're riding. Today we're probably in the UK about 13 degrees riding round the country roads of Dorset, and I can say that even without the padded liner, I still feel warm enough with this jacket on. And, you know, it's a good fit. However, now I'm wearing a medium, and I would probably say if you're going to wear this Alpinestars Bogota Pro, you probably need to size up. You know, I am between a medium and a large, but I would say definitely in this case I'd go for a large. So just check out the sizing guide on the XLMOTO website just to ensure that you get that right the first time round. Next up we have the Ixon Midgard jacket and pant combo. Essentially this is for people who would like a slightly easier setup. So this has a fixed membrane waterproof layer attached to the jacket, and then it has a removable thermal liner. The same principle is on the trousers, so you have a thermal liner and the waterproofing is already built in. So there's no need to worry about having to take different jackets in and out and on and off in order to get and stay dry. Now, both the jacket and the trousers are AA rated, which is fantastic. And on an armour, we have level 1 on the elbows, on the shoulders, and also in the knees and the hips. With regard to the jacket itself, we have 2 external pockets. We also have 2 side pockets, which have popper closures. And a really cool thing in here, there's a couple of straps. So if you're riding pillion, your passenger can hang onto your straps as you're going hell for leather. Now, there's also adjustability around the waist, there's adjustability on the biceps, we have ventilation on both of the sleeves, and then we have 2 chest pockets. Now, this probably isn't ideally suited for super hot weather riding because the vents, in all honesty, are not massive, but it will get airflow flowing through it, and there is also an exhaust vent on the back, which means it will flow around your body and out the back, trying to keep you cool. A couple of little points on this jacket, rather handy sleeve zip. Now I find these really great. You put your credit card in there, you come up to the machines, you hit your card, the barrier opens and you're off. The other thing I like about it is there's also an internal waterproof zipper right here, which means that if you pull up at the passport office, you can simply place your arm in, pull your passport out and you're off. All in all, a very well thought out jacket. With regard to the pants, we have a large zip, which means they attach right the way around the jacket. There is also adjustability on the waist. Coming down, we have a pocket on each side, which is zipped. We then have ventilation on the front of both legs, so you can get plenty of airflow flowing around your legs. There's also a cargo pocket on the side. We have articulated knees with the armour already in, and then finally we have quite a wide opening at the bottom, which can then be cinched together with the Velcro at the bottom. So if you can't be dealing with all the hassle of trying to take layers in and out and changing things top and bottom, this is a great set and forget set. Essentially, you can put it on, you'll stay dry, you'll stay cool. Now let's get on the bike and go try it out. Now, in terms of the space and maneuverability within the jacket, there's plenty of space. I can stand up easily, move around. The pads all feel as if they're in the right positions on the elbows and the knees. And it's certainly on a day like today, which is probably around 13 degrees. I'm warm. I have the padded insulation leather inside, which you can always take out. But obviously this has the waterproofing membrane built into it. So I don't have to worry, should it rain, should there be a shower, whether or not this is going to get me wet or not. I could definitely see it working well in colder conditions. For instance, we'll open the arm vents. And we'll also open the leg vents too. Now, it's not the easiest thing to do when you're on the go, and I wouldn't possibly suggest it always, but, you know, if you feel you're just getting a little bit too hot, with a one-handed operation and large zippers, with regard to the jacket itself, the articulation in the arms means that I can bend forwards and backwards. The length of the arm is fine. Again, for my size, this is a medium size set. If I had a gauntlet glove on and I was doing longer distances, it would cover my sleeve and it would keep me dry. The trousers, regarding the length seems nice. You know, teamed up with these boots, if you were going to go through a river crossing or it's going to be wet, you know that the water is not going to get in. By the time you go through a river or through a puddle, then it's just going to splash to the side and it's not going to go over the top of the boot. Okay, next up we have the REV'IT Sand 5 H2O. Now this jacket has been in production for about 15 years and they've been upgrading it as they go. So this is for the adventure tourer who wants a slightly sportier chassis, but also wants a double A class jacket and also level 2 armour on both the elbows and the shoulders. The jacket also comes with the over and under system, which means that underneath this I'm wearing a waterproof jacket and attached to that is a thermal liner. However, you can take that jacket out if it's a heavy downpour and you can place it over the top of the whole chassis and keep yourself dry. So this is a double A class jacket and it's backed up by the C-Flex level 2 armour on both the elbows, the shoulders and the knees and the hips. There's also separate inserts where you can put in chest protectors, and additionally you can also get the airbag to fit in the back too. So with regard to weather management, yes, the outside of the jacket is waterproof. However, you have an inner layer which provides 100% waterproof membrane to keep you dry, and then attached to this is the thermal liner. If you prefer, as I said earlier, you can unzip this from the thermal liner and wear the waterproof over the top of the jacket, and the same is for the trousers too. They both work on the same system, meaning that they'll keep you super dry. The only thing is you may need to faff around, taking layers off, putting layers in and reattaching and attaching them. When it comes to ventilation and ride features, the jacket essentially has 2 double flaps on the front, which allow you to pull this down and open up the ventilation. So that allows plenty of ventilation in the front, and then on the rear of the jacket there's also a exhaust, so you can pull that down. It will allow air to flow around you. In combination, we have 2 arm vents on each side, and even the wrists have a little bit of mesh should you really be out riding on those really hot days and you need some airflow. With regard to pocketing, there are 2 external pockets which look as if they should keep the rain out. And then on the internal jacket, we have a Velcro mesh pocket on the inside on one side, a Velcro mesh pocket on the other side, and in the waterproof layer, we have a waterproof pocket, which means that you can put your passport in there, keep it nice and dry, or any documents that you may have on you. So with regard to the pants, it works on the same method as the jacket. We have an internal waterproof membrane layer, and then we have a thermal liner. The thermal liner can be taken out and left the waterproof in, or you can take the waterproof out and you can actually use that over the top of the trousers should there be a prolonged downpour. The trousers themselves have 2 attachment zips, so you have a short zip for quickness, or you have a long zip, say you're outside and it's cold and you just want to stay a little bit warmer. As well as this, we have adjustment with a built-in buckle on the front. Moving down the trousers, we have 2 hip pockets. One is with a popper and the other one with a zip. And then for ventilation, the same as the jacket, you undo the 2 zips and you have a full fold down pocket. We then have the C-Flex level 2 armour on the knee. There's also a adjustment strap should you want to pull that in a little bit closer. And at the bottom, We have a large Velcro patch giving plenty of room for over boot wearing. So now we've talked over the features, it's time to put it on and go for a ride. With regard to the venting on the jacket, once the liners have been taken out, there are two big pockets on the front that open up. So I've opened one at halfway so you can see, and I've opened one full way. And this, I can tell you, is letting on plenty of airflow. There's also a large vent on the back. So the vent on the back means that it's coming in through the front, it's moving around my body, and it's going out the back of the jacket. I can honestly say on a warm day like this, I can feel plenty of cool air, and it's really comfortable. Now the trousers, I do actually have the liner in. Again, I'm wearing shorts. I usually wear a pair of board shorts because, you know, they're really thin, they can move around, they don't create any friction. So just with that on, I can definitely feel that it's quite warm. And if you're out in anything colder, let's say you start riding first thing in the morning and it's cold, you know, these would be a great benefit. There's plenty of movement within this jacket. It is also adjustable in two places around the waist, and it also has adjustment on the arms. So the big vents on the arms, you can see on this side, they're quite easy to operate with gloves on. And if you look on the left-hand side, you can see that I've actually popped one open. So you can hold that open to get more airflow to come through the jacket, which is really handy. And finally, we have the Raven Moravia TX Air Plus. If you're looking for a lighter weight jacket on a budget with plenty of airflow, but can help you out just for the odd downpour, then this is the jacket for you. So the jacket and the trousers are both a Class A, and the armour inside, which is on the elbows, on the shoulders and on the knees, is RE0 Level 1. Finally, there's a pocket in the back should you wish to add back armour as well. With regard to weather management for this particular outfit, we have two large mesh panels on the front, we have a large mesh panel on the back, and this is mirrored with two large mesh pockets on the trousers. If you take the waterproof lining out, that will allow the airflow to go straight through, so it gives you a really super cool ride when you're out and about on your bike. For rain management, there is actually an internal layer which can be zipped in and zipped out for your convenience, and that means that for the odd downpour you can zip this thing in and you'll stay nice and dry. Alternatively, you can take it out and put it in the pocket in the back and you're good to go. For pocketing, we have two Velcro pockets on the front. If we open up the jacket on the inside, the waterproof layer has two mesh pockets with Velcro, and then the chassis of the jacket also has a further two pockets on the inside. With regard to the trousers, we have a zip which allows you to attach it to the jacket. Moving down, we have zipped pockets on both sides of the trouser. We then have an articulated knee with an accordion stretch panel, again with the RE0 Level 1 padding on the inside, and there's two big mesh vents here. So if you take the waterproof lining out, there's going to be plenty of airflow going around, which will keep you really cool on those hot summer days. And finally at the bottom we have a large wide opening for the leg, which has a zipped closure and Velcro just to give that final firm fit. Okay, now that's all the features, let's get on the bike and go for a ride testing out this gear. So if you're looking for a budget busting adventure suit, then look no further. So there's airflow that's constantly going through the front and coming out the back where there's a big mesh panel. Now if it was me, I would probably say, well, okay, you know, if it's a really warm day, you can just have the mesh panel with no lining in it. But if it's getting colder in the evening, you know, you just zip the liner in, and once you've got the liner zipped into it, that'll stop the cold. Then finally, it's just about laying underneath it. But it means that you've got a waterproof 2-in-1 jacket that will work well for you. The trousers are comfortable, the pads are in the right positions on the knees. Yeah, what a great jacket and trouser combo this is. So, having tested all these adventure suits, what do we have to say? Well, if you want four-season touring, you want multifunctionality, and you want changing weather conditions, you're either going to be looking at the Sand 5 H2O, or you're going to be looking at the Alpinestars Bogota Pro. If you're looking for a simple set and forget, you go out on the trails, you go out on the road, and you have one jacket to do it all, then we're going to be looking at the Midgard. And finally, if you're out during the warm weather but you want a little bit of protection just in case it rains, then the REV'IT Moravia is for you. As you can see from today, adventure suits come in different sizes. So to get the right one for you, drop us a line, tell us what you're after, and check out on xlmoto.com to buy yours today.